Hey guys, it's Mike with Redneck Politics. Well, I was here earlier. I did a video, but I wanted to pick up uh, from there because I was not even nowhere near coming close to what we're discussing, and a lot of that has to do with today is just Trump being an overall failure. But one of the main things that concerns us about every is this medical situation, because come the first of the year, there's going to be over 20 million people is going to be kicked off their medical coverage. And I just want you to let that sink in, because I promise you, these people either it's affecting your family or it's families that or people that know of families. There's going to be a hardship in these families. Um, and what gets me is for all these years, these motherfuckers have been bitching and raising hell about our health care being screwed up. They didn't like it. They tried to come up with all different types of different policies that but they never went anywhere. Um, you know, then it started out to being this a negative thing towards Obamacare. Most of you pretty much already know that story, but you now have Republicans who are standing up saying we cannot go back to our district, man, telling our district that most of you are going to be knocked off your health care. And they know that they're having to do this. And yet nobody can come up with anything. Well, let me put it to you this. One thing that's standing in the way is Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson stands in the way of it all because he's the one that can put it on the floor to be voted on. And he's the one that refuses or tries to push it to the back. He tries to stay away from it totally because he knows that that's not what his daddy Trump is wanting. But you see, that's just another one of those conspiracy theory cover up kind of bullshit that you get from this administration. Because instead of us talking about what we need to get this health care coverage thing taken care of, and nobody is agreeing that it's perfect right now. But we do have people that are coming up saying, well, we don't have anything that's better than it right now. So let's just extend it for another year or another 2 years, and let's see if we can't get this thing kind of worked out. They're not even fucking wanting to do that, man, at all. I mean, you had the government shutdown. That was the biggest crock of shit I ever seen in my life. And again, it was Trump's shutdown, and this was the longest one we've ever had. The second longest one we've ever had is because of Trump. Man, I do believe that there's a lot of Republicans that are seeing the need in the change. I just don't understand why it waited for so long, because look, man, we've had years here, man. When Trump was not in office, when he decided that he was going to run for president again, the only reason why he fucking didn't to begin with is because he had all these damn indictments coming down. And if you still think his legal troubles are over, they're not. He's got 3 more years in office. Now, the way the Republicans are catching on, I'm hoping that they can finally get their shit together with the Democrats and get us back on track and get his little ass back in check and get us through this 3 years. Because right now, all he is a lame president. That's all he is. He's going to do everything he can to try to change the outcome of the 2026 midterms. That's one thing he's going to keep his hands in, because he's still in office right now. And he wants to try to conflict as much harm as he possibly can, but he wants to do it all the illegal ways, and every time he's tried to do this illegal, the courts have stopped him. They stopped Texas. Hey, in Indiana, I am glad the Republicans seen through his bullshit and said, we're not going to do that here in Indiana. This is our state. This is things that we're doing for our state. This is not for just the federal government, the way everybody else seems to bow down, like Texas or Kentucky. With I don't even know where Mitch McConnell is anymore. Hopefully they'll. I don't know. Compared to him right now, to Trump, I'm Mitch McConnell. He's one of them old school ones. I know that. He had his hands in a lot of dirty shit too. But it's just like I said earlier, we can't seem to get Trump's administration and this Congress to do a damn thing. I mean, here they have the House, they have the Senate, and they have the White House. And they can't get nothing done. They haven't even proposed to get stuff done. No, it's been too busy with all this bullshit, with the cover-ups and the conspiracy theories with Trump. That's all these distractions. How can Congress do anything? And then you got Mike Johnson, turning around sending home everybody for 6 weeks, knowing that we had all this shit. We were in the middle of a government shutdown, and you send folks home. Are you fucking for real? You had people that were doing without their pay. See, you're not talking about that anymore. No, you said, well, boy, they got their pay. Yeah, but you don't understand. When people don't get their pay for 2 or 3 weeks or months, just because you give it to them later on doesn't mean during that 2 or 3 months, this is not hurting them. People don't have money just put up for fucking shit they can use every day. See, that's the difference between the very, very wealthy people and the middle income to lower income people here. That's the difference in the separation. That's how much of a gap there is of understanding. And as long as you keep taking that and putting more and more of a gap in there, more of a distance, the more likely the outcome is going to be things that you don't want, to come about. I mean, that's where you start getting the high crimes and everything else. I mean, because people, say, well, we're willing to work for, a good wage, just like everybody else is. But then when you keep them and you look at them like they're fucking stupid and you laugh at them and say, oh, you worth $7 an hour. Dude, breaking in a motherfucking house down the road to pay your bills sometimes seems like it's a lot easier. It's not. Trust me. That's the worst fucking thing you can do. And don't ever do anything like that, because your ass will go to prison and you will deserve to go to prison. But I'm just saying, sometimes people's mentality is just that way. They don't know of any other way to think. But you don't give them any other alternatives. They don't have any other different directions to go. You keep people in such low poverty, but then you can't take your people and you want to make them as multi-rich as they can possibly get. And the thing of it is this country should not be in the shape that it's in. You have so many billionaires in this country here alone. And a lot of those billionaires owe it to the United States of America, because Elon Musk, you got all your fucking defense contracts through the government, through the United States of America. And you people are sitting on billions and billions and billions of dollars. You'll never spend that. You wouldn't spend that with 10 kids' lifetimes. But you're not willing to do anything to help your Americans. Why are people homeless? Why should we be in the shape that we're in and be homeless? Why are wages the way they are? We're the most powerful nation in the world. We're supposed to be the most richest country in the world, but we're not doing it. We're not being fair to our people. And these are the people that has put this America here. That's a reason for you being here and having all the wealth that you have. But as long as you're keeping people in those type of poverty and you're just taking everything away from them that you can, you don't know what it's like to do without a Thanksgiving dinner. You don't know what it's like to lay your head on a fucking curb and use it as a pillow because you have nowhere else to sleep. And so when you get out there and you start making it out like you understand and that, things aren't as bad as they seem, that our economy is A plus 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 plus, everything is perfect. Well, it is in your fucking world, Mr. President, but it's not an everyday world, and it's not realistic in ours. So our government right now needs to take the helm because this dude is not paying. He does not care about doing any work for the people whatsoever. He's there for one thing, to enrich himself and his family as much as possible and then get the fuck out of there. If we can make sure that that's what happens, he gets the fuck out of there. Because don't forget, you got some Trumps coming up behind him, and you even got young Barron. And either one of them could go into politics. I guess, I don't know. By the time Trump gets through doing what he's doing, the American people may be so sick of the Trump name, they don't even want to look at him. Because if it's Trump and his family, man, these people have these $100,000 plate benefits at Mar-a-Lago, eating some of the wealthiest meals. I don't even know what a wealthy meal is. Shit, but they're they're paying out a lot of money for this shit, man. There's folks out here that's being snatched off their Medicaid. They're being snatched off of SNAP. There's people losing work. They won't even come out with a jobs report. Tell me why they won't come out with a jobs report. Tell me there ain't one reason why they won't come out with a jobs report. You know what the reason is, and because it's just more bad news for Trump, and they definitely got a lot of bad news for Trump. He's got so many damn scandals going on that it's not even funny. As I was talking about earlier with the his enemies list, so far every one of them has got it thrown out of court. But what's funny is that even the DAs in these top DAs, they quit. They resigned because there was nothing there for them. They didn't see anything, and because they were being pushed to do this, they resigned. You had some that got fired, but you got these dumbasses that they brought in there, and they done took Lena Habba. They done took Lena Habba, and I can't remember the girl's name that just got in New Jersey. I can't remember her name, but she was the one over the indictment for Latifah James. And, they took that from the grand jury. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. And, they say you take shit in front of a grand jury, it's because it's easy. The grand jury, the prosecutors, they just show you their side, and that's all they see. And then the jury looks at it, sees if there's just cause, and then they indict. Well, that's why they say, well, you can die in a ham sandwich, because it's that easy. The defense don't even have a chance. But in this case, 3 different times this girl brought these criminal charges up against Latifah James in front of these grand juries, and 3 different times each one of them turned it down. It's like they're doing whatever they can to try to cause harm to Trump's enemies. That's what Trump wants. He said he was going to do it when he was running on the campaign trail. That's exactly what the fuck he's doing. But now you're having a lot of them actually are beating it. They're giving this shit back, and it's just cause to give it back because they hadn't done any fucking thing wrong. Trump was in so many different of these same things that they're trying to charge Letitia James with. Being a real estate guy, he had homes that he was using as rental property that he was saying was his main home just to get through the loopholes and not pay extra money. Well, he's doing it too, but see, it's different when somebody else is doing it. But that's because he's that enemy. Epstein stuff's coming back up. They're dropping pictures out like crazy. I believe the time they get everything, it's going to be so fucking washed down, it's not even going to be goddamn funny. I'm going to tell you now. What really sucks is you're not ever going to end up being able to prosecute the pedophiles, the ones who actually did all the things. They're the ones that were in on it with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm sure they've done washed the files and stuff of Trump's any bad doings, though I'm sure, because I've got best friends. I've been around there for 10, 15 fucking years, and I can tell you now, I know damn near more about them than their wives do. And so you can't tell me this man hung out with Jeffrey Epstein and he didn't know what was going on for all them years. Look, Trump ain't even concentrating on none of this. Trump is concentrating. Now he's done got this damn, the White House done come to a screeching halt. They're not even building anymore. They're not even moving at this moment. They don't even have an architect at this moment because Trump screwed it up. And I don't understand how a big mogul that's supposed to have been doing this shit all his life screws something like that up. Well, I know why. Because he's gotten to the point that he thinks he can do any fucking thing he wants and get away with it. He doesn't even care about a 31% approval rating. If you would have asked Trump this many, back in the first term or even the beginning of him running for president again, those polls matter to that fucking man. They matter to everybody. And now they're sitting at the lowest at 31%. And I mean, America are totally disgusted with him and turning their back on him. So I know at 31%, how could he be happy? But then he doesn't act like it, or he's so consumed with all these conspiracy theories and all this money that he's fucking making, and just assuming that he's right about everything and America has his back when he's doing nothing but sucking America dry. I don't know, man. He's not here with it anymore, and I think that these Republicans might be looking very seriously at that, because really all it takes right now is the vice president and 9 cabinet members to say that Trump is totally lost it for Vance to assume the presidency, for him to take over. So, what do? Do you take your chance and throw everything in with the guy that's now starting to fucking lose all of reality? Or do you say, well, I've got to protect the America, and I've got to protect my future, and am I looking to run for, to have office one day? So it's going to be a tough choice for him, I'm sure. But, the easiest thing that you can really look at is when you start dictating that what Trump is doing to our country is more hazardous for us than anything we got going right now. It's Trump himself. I mean, you've already have, I'm not sure if it's Sweden or which one it is up there. I mean, these are our allies, man, and they're already worried about, giving us any intel. The British ain't even giving us any more intel, especially in the Caribbean, man. And you have to ask yourself why. You can't say that all of Britain is wrong. We've been in cahoots with them for hundreds of years now. They've been our closest allies. So you can't just say, there's a lot of folks pointing, saying this is not good, this is not good. It's just when everybody going to catch up and say, man, we really fucked up, didn't we? Because everything that Trump has done since he's been in that White House, from the first time all the way to now, is to have a concept of a plan. The only thing that the Republicans have done that I know of since Daddy Bush and young Bush, Trump. I mean, they've all been responsible for wars. Every one of them. You know, they all got themselves enriched off of wars. Halliburton was Dick Cheney's baby. Uh, there was a lot of Republican people getting rich. I'm telling you, off that war, and it seems like every time we go to one, and every time that those enriches are, you can look at the Republicans and look at Trump. He's following right in there with this Venezuela shit, But Venezuela is not what he's claiming it to be. I mean, it is really a lot more than that because the CIA has its fingers in it. I mean, Honduras, Ecuador, Panama, for years and years and years. I mean, all the way back to the 30s and 40s, and Trump knows, they all know that Venezuela is not the one pushing up, no damn fentanyl. If anything, fentanyl is coming from China into Mexico, Mexico up. It don't even go through anywhere near no goddamn Venezuela. But he's using it as an excuse because he wants Maduro out of there. Well, they did the same damn thing when they had Noriega, back in the day. But, it goes back to having the CIA have their hands in everything there. And, their biggest thing is wanting to keep countries like Russia and China and all them out of there from, because it's in our backyard. And I understand all that, but, don't let them just make you believe that, we've been warning him, and it's been nothing like that, man. Nothing at all. Especially not when you're pardoning some dude that was convicted here in our country and given 45 years in federal prison, and you pardon him, and this was just last month. So, like I said, this dude is not even paying attention to, our economy. He's not paying attention to our health care. He's not paying attention to anything but conspiracy theories, cover-ups, and to keep himself looking good. He is scared to death about the Epstein files. He is scared to death about January the 6th. He is scared to death about this, where the fake elector schemes, because he was going to prison. That's where that man was headed, to prison. They found him guilty. This man is a convicted 34 felony convicted president of the United States. Really? Look, guys, please hit the like, subscribe, and alert. I do everything I can to bring you accurate stuff, and I will continue to do so. I need your support, especially you baby boomers. Thank you.